Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. One of this season's most talked about new films is Kemp Powers' electrifying One Night in Miami. It is helmed by first-time film director, Oscar winner Regina King. And I caught up with one of its stars, Tony Award winner Leslie Odom Jr., who plays legendary singer Sam Cooke. It is great to see you, my friend. First of all, you and the film are absolutely sensational.
Thank you.
What has it been like playing Sam Cooke? What has it meant to you personally?
Well, what is
It's a
it?
big question.
Yeah, it was breaking new ground. It was breaking new ground for me personally, and also, I haven't seen a ton of depictions of Sam. I don't know if I've seen any, if I'm being honest, if I've seen any depictions of Sam in other media, in fictional, media. I've seen the documentaries, I've read the books. I've watched all the interviews and stuff, but there certainly hasn't been a life story told. I think there's a small part in somebody else's movie, it might be Ali or something, where like Sam Cooke, but so I knew that I'd be one of the first, which is one of the reasons why I ran from the project the way that I did, because I didn't think that I should be the first.
So what was it like taking on? I mean, he's such an incredible man. I mean, you get to sing one of his iconic songs, which of course is "A Change Is Gonna Come." I mean, how magical was that?
It was quite magical. I'm grateful that the schedule worked out the way that it did, because we shot that on my final day in New Orleans. And so it was, um, it took all those scenes in the hotel room, the interrogation of Kingsley Ben-Adir as Malcolm X, my relationship with Eli Goray's Cassius and Aldous Hodges, Jim Brown. I found my Sam uh, in relationship to these gentlemen in that room. So it was like you get to that point in the script. I'm sure I'm not the first actor to feel this way. And Sam Cooke sings "A Change Is Gonna Come" on the Tonight Show, and you're like, ooh, that's exciting. And you're also like, but I don't want to shoot that anytime soon. Like let's put that off for as long as possible. And when the day arrived, Richie, I didn't know, even on that morning, like I didn't quite know how I was gonna get it over, like how I was gonna make myself believe in it and make you guys believe it. But there was something about when we went to do it, all of my research, all that we'd shot up until that day, it all sort of rose up, underneath me. And it was my undergirding, it was my foundation to believe in myself enough to get that song over to the best of my ability.
Okay, then there's working with Regina King. I mean, I cannot believe this is her major film debut as a director. It's seamless, it's flawless. What was it like being on the set with her and just collaborating with her?
That's the word, because she brought the same nose for truth and sensitivity to her work behind the camera that we've grown accustomed to seeing from her in front of the camera. But she kind of like played Sam alongside me. Kingsley, I just did an interview with Kingsley, and he said he felt the same. He said that he felt like they created Malcolm together. I felt like I had someone who had eyes on the work from an outside perspective, because she was watching, but she also kind of took the internal journey with me as well. So it was just so collaborative. There was so much trust, and I felt like she was playing Sam right alongside me. And so there's no one I'd rather share that role with than Regina King. She's brilliant.
Watching this film, I mean, this whole story took place in the early 60s. It could have taken place yesterday. Just talk about the relevancy and how important this piece is to you to be a part of.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Kemp says this really interesting thing, and it's true. This play has been floating around for what, 6 or 7 years around the country. Actually, it's been on 3 continents, I think already. It was here and maybe Canada and Europe.
Yeah.
Well, Canada would be North America, but it's been in
The Dunmar Warehouse did it, LA did it, and I think, like you said, the third, yeah,
there
in
we
Canada.
go. But Kemp says every time they put the play up, they talk about how relevant it is. And so I don't know if that is, what is that, tragic? Or is that just a sign of a great piece that it constantly feels relevant? But yeah, obviously when we shot this film, it was pre-pandemic. It was pre all the uprisings, or I don't know, the protests of the summer, the Black Lives Matter protests. I mean, my final performance at Hamilton, I remember I dedicated that final performance to Philando Castile. And I remember saying a prayer for Sandra Bland every single night after her murder, her, mysterious death in the custody of the police in 2016. So, yeah, this piece has been relevant and probably will be relevant for a while longer. And that is the story of America. It's because our story is contained within the conversations of these four men.
Yeah. You also got to write a song for this. I mean, it closes out the film. You wrote it with Sam Ashworth, Speak Now. Did you record that afterwards? Did you write it after the film was done?
We did. I don't know whose idea it was, but I'm very grateful. Whose idea it was that I should take a shot at writing the song. But we wrote 4 songs, actually. They asked us to write more than one because Regina wanted to have a choice, of course, which I thought about today was actually I was happy to do it for the exercise of it, because I had never done it before. But also it meant that no one song had to contain the whole experience for me. I think that would have been much more challenging for me because I got to kind of spread it out. All of the songs represented something that I wanted to say about the experience. And this was the one that Regina chose because she thought it underscored the themes of the film best. Yeah.
It must have meant so much to you artistically and spiritually to write that, but then to see it, to hear it at the end of this powerful film.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It did mean a lot in it. After having run from the film, I did not think that Regina King saw a Sam in me long before I saw it in myself. But after having shot the film, I remember I was in the car ride to the airport. I called my team and I said, it might mean that I don't work as often, but they all gotta feel like that from now on. I know we're gonna have a hard time finding One Night in Miami's. They don't come up every day, but I guess what I just meant is that I just felt so used. I felt so used up. Normally in projects, there's so much of yourself that you feel like you have to leave at the door. And so whenever you meet a project that is asking all of you, demanding all of you, it's just a really healing experience, and it pushes you forward. So getting to write a song about the experience too, it just demanded more of me, and I grew and I learned, and just very grateful.
Ready for tonight?
I'm as ready as a person can be. After the fight, we're all coming back here for the champ's victory party. Don't be late.
Minister Malcolm X. Good news, the chariot is coming.
You know I'm the greatest. That's right.
Jim Brown takes the ball.
Your record is going to stand the test of time.
How's everybody feeling tonight?
All together, yeah.
New heavyweight champion of the world.
Say, champ, you don't suppose you could sign an autograph?
Yeah, of course, man. Give him an autograph, Jim.
Actually, Mr. Cooke.
Oh, sure thing, brother.
Yeah, that's the sound.
Don't you think it's about time to party?
Tonight is a chance for us to reflect.
You mean no one else is coming? Well, this is off to a hopping start.
You all are a bright and shining future. You need to understand what is at stake here.
Everything's not so black and white like you make it out to be.
But we are fighting for our lives.
You know I know what's going on out there, right?
Listen, listen. Brothers and sisters, listen, listen, listen.
Miami, the champ!
I swear we'll never find a way to where we're going all alone.
The goal is for us to really be free.
When you hear the bells ring out,
We want a world
speak now,
where we're safe to be ourselves.
speak now. I told him. Can you hear the angels cry out?
To think like we want,
Speak now,
without having to answer to anybody for it.
speak now.
We have to be there for each other.
Who's the greatest?
Can you hear the angels?
You brothers could move mountains without lifting a finger.